Hey, welcome to Nerd News Now for May 11th. What year is it, guys? 2020? A year to be erased from our mind brains forever.
I'm redoing 2019 right now.
Yep.
Something. We could just. I would rather just end 2020 and get 2021 as fast as possible. Maybe 2022. But I got Miss Jen, Jarek, Chaz with me. Guys, how are you holding up during quarantine? Or whatever you're doing right now?
I've got my skunk line showing.
Nice.
She meant to do that. She went to the salon today, and she's like, "Give me the you." I think you wear it awesomely. This is fashionista.
For long, it'll be the full-on rogue, right? Where it's like the whites.
Ooh.
What she's going for?
There you go. There you go.
All right, you just told everybody your secret. I dig it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, good.
Good. Did you rush out to a salon?
What's up?
Huh? So did you rush out to a hair salon also, or what's up?
No, man. I do this all myself, actually. You can't get this in a salon. I do need to trim it, though. A lot of split ends. It's funny when I say that, like, chicks are like, I've never heard a dude say that. And I'm like, well, they don't have nice hair, so whatever. Yeah. Dudes, get your hair trimmed.
Jarek, what about you?
Living my best life. Need a haircut, that's for sure. But not dead yet, so that's good.
Yeah, I went outside after work and I thought I saw a swarm of murder hornets. Have you guys heard about murder hornets?
Yeah.
Obviously, you watch our show.
I thought I saw a swarm of them, but then it turned out it was just a bunch of women in Texas running to the salon when it opened on Saturday morning.
Ha!
But I don't know which one was honestly more terrifying. I almost got run over by a lady trying to get to her hair appointment. No joke though. But I don't know what's scarier, murder hornets or people running back to get a haircut already. But I guess it's up to user discretion on it. But with the murder hornets, a little bit terrifying, especially since bees were already having a bad time anyway. And now they're subjected to this. Like, first they're subjected to us humans, and now they're subjected to murder hornets. But I worry about honey sometimes. That's what I'm saying. During all of this, I worry about condiments the most because that's what I run out of.
Dude, honey lasts forever. So I don't think you should worry about honey. It's like a ranch, buttermilk ranch. That's what you should be worrying about.
It comes from bees too?
No. But if the bees sting all the cows, then we ain't got no honey buttermilk ranch.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Because I can't have Jack in a Box without ranch.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about the honey lasting forever. I'm worried about it lasting forever, like the supply. Not once I actually have it from the bees, but I'm bees not existing to make more.
Yeah, I think we've been worried about that for a long time.
You guys see the video footage of the praying mantis taking out the murder hornet?
I have, yes.
Eat his head.
Yeah,
it should be.
Is this a real thing? Murder hornets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you not heard about this?
No. I mean, I remember Jarek said it on our show during our geek news segment, but I thought it was just I wasn't paying attention because I was reading my own jokes. I thought it was something that people were talking about. Like, I mean, as far as, I don't know, like something that Jon Stewart would say, as if it's not real. Just well, for the murder hornets, you know.
You know what it actually does sound like? It sounds like a great name for a minor league baseball team.
It does.
It does.
I'll take advantage of that for sure.
Way better than the Houston Texans. We can be the Houston Murder Hornets. Awesome.
Yeah, murder hornets are real. They're big and orange and scary.
They are pretty scary.
I think they can kill like 500 bees in a minute or something like that.
What?
Yeah, a lot of bees.
Yeah, they just go in and like snip their heads off.
Yeah,
it's insane. I used 500 bees in a minute.
Yeah, but also praying mantis can eat them, so they might be. But the problem is, Miss Jen, if we were to get a whole bunch of praying mantis to combat these, eventually the praying mantis would just turn on us. So
yeah.
Maybe. I'd be way more willing to be eaten by a praying mantis than stung by a murder hornet, though.
I don't know. Not after seeing that video of how that mantis took out the murder hornet. But one thing's for sure is someone needs to be working on that script right away for the Sippy Network.
They really do. I mean, honestly, this is something that's too good to pass up.
They really need to. Well, guys, any news on the comics front? I know DC's been delivering books for a couple weeks now. But Miss Jen, any news as far as when everyone else is going to try to make a comeback?
Well, we just did an FOC today for a whole bunch of books. The Marvel list was mostly trade paperback. I think it was all trade paperbacks, actually. And then there's a bunch of cool stuff on the DC stuff that we're ordering on that one, which is it's like Joker 80th, which is Origin of Punchline, which is super cool. Yeah. And then there were a bunch of like other companies on there, so it kind of felt like a real FOC for the first time in forever.
And is that so? Is Diamond coming? Has Diamond announced the ship date?
Mm-hmm, the 20th.
Okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean everyone's going to be providing with them with new comics.
Mm-hmm. No, I know there's at least 3 companies now that are looking at other distribution or have already started other distribution or never stopped self-distributing to comic book stores if they had access to that company.
Right. And other than that, how are your respective shops holding up right now? Customer-wise.
Yeah. Ours is doing really well.
Yeah.
Like last Monday was ridiculous. Our curbside was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And even today, when we film on Mondays because obviously it's one of the slowest days and we don't have to worry about too many customers coming in and whatever. But last Monday was ridiculous. Today,
I swear, like every time we were like about to do a new scene, ding dong, doorbell. Like, how? How do you know? Yeah, no. Today
they just wanted to be on the show.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'd start locking the doors. But yeah, I mean, really, business has been. It seems as though the days I worked, it's actually picked up. So, yeah. I mean, that's cool.
I mean, for those who don't know, Texas businesses opened officially, May 4th? So people are kind of slowly starting to get back into that routine, but it's still like 25% capacity and social distance and all that. At what point do you guys both? This is for both of y'all, or all 3 of you, but both of the stores. At what point do you get to start having tabletop gaming and tournaments and stuff again?
I don't know. I know we don't even know what's happening in phase 2. I mean, just following the guidelines. So it's funny because we were told that we can have like events, but we can't have people at the tables playing games. Yeah. So that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But then I'm just the comic guy, so I don't have any events. I don't have an event like, come, let's all read this comic book together and discuss. Thankfully. You should. It's like, get your book and go. Because I'm trying to read my book, and it's quiet on my side.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I know for my side at least, I think we're looking at, I think it was originally the 18th was the first day where, like, when phase 2 should have been rolled out, or should be rolling out. And then even then, that's just unorganized play, or disorganized play, is one of my regulars has called it. And then we have, I think they're looking at June possibly for hosting events again in the store. Even then, that's all dependent on whether or not things continue upwards, or if they are even continuing upwards. Who knows? I got a whole rant about that, but I'm not going to go on that here.
Yeah.
Honestly, it really doesn't. This whole time I haven't felt anything. I know a lot of people have, and I'm just fortunate to where even when we were closed, we really weren't closed. Yeah. Mainly because like for 2 weeks we were doing inventory, so we were just always at the shop anyway. But after that, it was curbside, and then if you drive down the streets, man, people. At least in this area, they're in full force. Everybody's going somewhere.
Yeah.
It does feel in my area that we all live in this area, that it's affected, But if you go downtown, like there's tumbleweeds in the street. There's nothing going on downtown. It's totally different. It just seems like nothing's going on here. So it hasn't affected me. So I'm not, it's whatever. So I'm not in the Twilight Zone. Maybe we are. because it hasn't affected us. And by the way, today's Twilight Zone Day.
You're welcome.
Really? I don't know.
It is.
I know that. Now, is that because this is when it first came out back in the 60s, or what? What makes today Twilight Zone Day?
Tell you the truth, I have no idea. I just thought it was International Twilight Zone Day, or it's National Twilight Zone Day.
Yeah.
I guess I can Google it while you guys discuss important matters.
Please Google that. I would have done the whole hour if I would have known that. That makes me be in the Twilight Zone for not knowing that.
I will tell you what you wouldn't have done an hour on. The Rod Serling Twilight Zone trading cards.
Yeah.
So we opened trading cards on the show, and I was like, Twilight Zone Day, let me open the Rod Serling. And it's nothing but words. So it's his opening monologue, and on the back it's his closing monologue with a little bitty picture. I said, dude, if I wanted books, I do comic books. And even comic books has more pictures than what's on these cards. I was very disappointed, and I'm sure it comes across in the video that drops on Thursday on Roku for me and for you. But anyway, I was disappointed. So let me see.
It was, yeah.
The inserts from that set are very good, but the cards themselves, they did that because I think they ran out of ideas. That was probably like the 7th or 8th Rittenhouse Twilight Zone archive set. And I guess the idea was to have all 156 episodes, each one represented by a card, but the monologues on both the front and back. But some of his monologues for those episodes are so freaking long that the picture ended up being like the size of a penny or no picture at all.
Yeah.
I think the next set that they're releasing next month here is going to be very cool because it's mosaic poster cards for all the episodes that weren't featured in the insert set for that series. But anyway, it's a lot of words.
So what we learned today is, 1, it's Twilight Zone Day, and 2, Mark's a pretty big fan of the Twilight Zone. So there we go. We've learned something today.
I've actually bought some of those cards from your shop, so.
Oh, nice.
So hopefully you didn't pull anything too awesome that you won't.
No, hey, we got.
I usually put. I mean, every show that we've opened trading cards, I've pulled an incentive card, except for today, and I think it's because as soon as I opened the first one, I was like, "F these cards." But then Bill catches on last week. He was like, "Well, if you keep opening incentives, then then people aren't going to buy them." I was like, "Well, there's more than one incentive, and then I'm buying the cards, so you're getting your money, man."
Yeah.
I mean, I get where he's coming from, but nobody's buying these cards anyway, except for us.
I don't know. I had a guy walk out of there with like a handful of Marvel cards yesterday, and I was really kind of proud of that, even though it was all on him. But I'm totally taking credit on that one.
So Rob, his birthday is on December 25th, so that's nothing. It said it's National Twilight Zone Day is always observed on May 11th. It said that it was created, written, and narrated by Serling, premiered on October 1st, but it doesn't tell you why it's on May 11th. Like, it's nothing. It says what you can do. Maybe because in May it's the 5th dimension, but I mean, that doesn't make any sense either. Who knows? It doesn't say as to why it's on this day, but it's always observed. And you're supposed to watch. Let's see. What are you supposed to do on today? You're supposed to offer fortune cookies. You're supposed to stir up some nutty mix of fear and superstition to your friends. Make beverages. Play trivia. Dress up as characters from the show. And make pinwheels. That's what we're supposed to do. And I'm not doing all that.
We messed up, guys.
I think this was all just an elaborate ruse to make you read even more words than you did on the trading card.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like this happened. Well, I love Twilight Zone, but I did not know today was that, and that's a weird list of stuff to do. So I'm probably not going to observe that or those things.
Well, the day's almost over anyway, so.
Yeah, well.
Our whole show dropping on Thursday is all Twilight Zone themed for the most part.
Pretty much.
We even broke a door.
Yeah, we did.
But that was all Justin's fault. So
it's all Justin's fault, hands down.
He told us to do it. He's our producer. Remember, he's our supervisor.
That's true. He is our supervisor. It's all his fault. Hands are clean.
Well, there's not a whole lot of news going on because
tons of news.
Always news.
What other news is going on?
Oh, we're talking about just nerd news. Well, in that case,
yeah. Oh, we got nerd news. We Boba Fett and Mandalorian.
That's true.
Yeah, we're getting all that. What I meant was I was trying to
Hot Toys. What else? Spider-Man has yet auctioned another book this week that has gone through the roof. I mean, dude, you're slacking on these days.
No, I have most of that rundown. I was trying to set myself up to say nothing is going on today, but fortunately, things went back on in 1985, so that Josh Gad could continue his web series and have our cast from our favorite movies ever online virtually. That's what I was trying to do. Anyway.
Oh, my bad. I messed up the segue. That
was a hell of a segue, and I kind of feel bad, but at the same time, I don't. You're welcome.
Yeah, no, it's it just at each time at this point is fine. But remember when Josh Gad hosted the virtual reunion of the Goonies?
Yes.
Back. Well, he did. Back today was Back to the Future.
Hmm.
Oh, I didn't know it was today.
Did anyone get a chance to see that yet?
I
So that was.
I saw somewhere that there's going to be a John Wick one, but I don't know when.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like John Wick should have the element of surprise, right? Like that's his whole.
Right. Nothing
like
John
Wick. Yeah.
John Wick kills everybody in the movie, so it's just him, right? Like who else left for him to talk to? It's like, hey, thanks, Keanu. He's like, I know Kung Fu. I'm like, okay, yeah, we get it, but I know Kung Fu. Okay, cool. And now that's all we have.
Yeah, you could have dog on the.
There you go. You want to see me? You want to watch me shoot this pistol really good? I can do it, man. I tell you. I'm telling you.
And I know Kung Fu.
And I know Kung Fu.
So on the Back to the Future reunited apart, it was Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, and Leia Thompson. Notably absent was Biff. But also Crispin.
Because he's the president right now, dude. What is he gonna? He's president.
Ooh.
Who is?
Biff.
We wish.
Dude, remember in part 2? I mean, Biff becomes president, and which they modeled after Donald Trump. That's why he's not there. See, it's a conspiracy, man.
I would take my chances with Biff. I think maybe.
We already are. He's our president, Mark. You're not getting this in your head.
If there was an whatever, I don't know.
Hashtag Biffgate 2020.
That.
But they did model Biff as president after Donald Trump, which I think is brilliant.
Yeah.
And scary that it turned out like that.
Exactly. A lot of the stuff that they did in those movies turned out like flat screen TVs, voice like this. What we're doing now. That was a whole bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Pepsi free. Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No, they even brought it back. Remember when they brought it back for the anniversary?
Yeah.
It was so bad. So gross.
Yeah, it's not great. But anyway, it's cool. Go on YouTube. Josh Gad reunited apart, episode 2, Back to the Future. Everyone looked pretty good. They've all done conventions recently that I've seen them at. So it was very cool to have them all together. A lot of reminiscing. We've already talked about probably. I think he's got to try to do the Breakfast Club next. That seems like the next logical step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jump down. Breakfast. Give me. Let's do a Breakfast Club. Let's do a Young Guns. I'm totally do Young Guns, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
What else? Who else could come back? I think Saved by the Bell is too soon.
Yeah.
Saved by the Bell's coming back for real. So
coming back for real. They're coming back for real. For real.
They coming back for real. For real.
Yes, Governor Zach Morris.
What?
Zach Morris is now the governor of California, and he closes half of the schools. So then comically, and I guess maybe like realistically, the rich schools and poor schools have to fold into one another. Therefore, you have a mix of interesting characters, and he and Kelly have a kid that goes there, and Slater and Jesse are back as well. Dustin Diamond wants to be back, but they have not asked him at all.
See, Mark, I make this game for you guys. This is obviously the fake movie, right? The other ones are the real Sci-Fi Channel movies.
No, this is on one of the signature series that's going to be on Peacock. And if you have Comcast or Xfinity right now, you have early access to Peacock. But this show is not out yet. This is along with the Punky Brewster. Not remake but I guess reboot. I mean, it's still Soleil Moon Frye. She's Punky Brewster. So Punky Brewster and Saved by the Bell, I think they come out in June.
Well, dude, they got my money. I mean, I was a big Punky fan. Saved by the Bell was just the jam. That's what you did. As soon as you got home, there was Saved by the Bell. There was Batman 66. There was the Monkeys and something else, obviously on reruns, but. Yeah, I mean, and then it was actually right before Saved by the Bell was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So it was like boom, boom. Like we had a thing. That's exactly what we did. Then we did our homework. So, and then you got ready for whatever night. Like if it was a Wednesday night or a Friday night, TGIF. Wednesday nights were good on ABC. Tuesdays pretty good. Mondays crap. Thursday crap. Thursday was just all nothing but stuff for old people. Like I don't know, Seinfeld and. Matt, yeah, but when you're like, what? I don't understand. What's the deal with this? It's like, who cares? Just do it.
And now relatable though, I think.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's brilliant. I mean, hilarious.
But no, yeah, Saved by the Bell's real. So there you go. Subscribe for that coming out. So yeah, no, if you have any kind of basic cable and up. Subscription to Comcast, Peacock is free now. So,
ooh, wow,
that is the way.
Could they not think of a better name for that?
No, they couldn't. Yeah, because that's the bird. That's the NBC bird. They could have called it NBC bird. Is that better? I don't know.
I don't know, but it's. I mean, I don't like. I don't like it.
Yeah, get out of the gutter, dude.
No. It's not even that. It's just like, come on. Maybe. Hey, we're we're NBC. We're gonna do a streaming service. We need a name for this thing. Obviously, we have to beat CBS All Access, which is, let's be real, really easy to do. And like, Greg, can we do Peacock?
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Well, no.
Better than CBS All Access.
Dude, when you look at a lot of their shows, I mean, like 30 Rock and all that jazz, like they mention the Peacock, like he's just a mascot. So he's been around forever. So I don't think Greg was like, oh, look about like the head dude was like, this is what it's called because he's our mascot. It's like calling, Frosted Flakes, it's Tony the Tiger, the orange guy on the box.
I don't know. I just think they could have done something better than just Peacock.
All right, how about this? I'm gonna pitch it to you. Tell me yes or no.
All right,
Mr. Peacock. Already better. Tell me it's
already better. I already like it so much better. Not gonna lie. Hey, what are you watching? Oh, I'm watching Saved by the Bell, the reunion sequel on Mr. Peacock tonight. What about you?
Like, I'm eating Mr. Peanuts, so let's hang out. By the way, if we're talking about streaming real quick, I know we talked about this earlier, but it wasn't live or anything, but Harley Quinn on DCU. Oh my God! I know Jarek hasn't seen it yet. Have you guys seen this Harley Quinn show?
I've seen all of season 1 and then episode 1 of season 2, and then I'm like 5 episodes behind now. But I heard like the last episode is awesome, mostly because background. But
I've been binging it, and I love it. It's witty. I mean, it's just it's funny. The animation is there. And it is so adult, like nobody's business, where I didn't know anything about this coming into it. And the first time they started dropping words, I was like, what is it? And then the violence and the gore. But I was like, this is Harley Quinn. Like, I'm so happy DC was like, yes, let's okay this. But it is awesome. But it's funny. It's very well written behind all the violence and the curse words. They did leave out one word, though, which I found was funny because they talk about all different situations.
Was it Peacock?
It was
Peacock. There it is.
There you go.
the C word, and they even mention a peahen, but they call it something else, and it's like, boop, and I was like, wait a minute, are they bleeping stuff now? And then the very next line, I was like, no, okay, no, they're not. They're just bleeping that one word. So I found this funny. But anyway, just watch it. It's great.
And they are not afraid to take pot shots at certain members of the comic community either.
Oh, no, they are not, which is awesome. And you know what? Those people are going to turn around and be like, I'm on the show. That's how cool is that?
Yeah.
Since we're all streaming services, I figured out.
Totally.
Yeah. And then Miss Jen, another show, is doing a virtual reunion next week that you started watching on Netflix recently. That's Community.
Who just started recently watching on?
Miss Jen. She was talking about that 2 weeks ago. How you started watching Community since it came to Netflix. So that's but that is happening. They did a table read. And that'll be on Sony's YouTube site Monday, May 18th. They're doing the episode from season 4. That is, no spoilers. One of the cast members had just left. But cooperative calligraphy.
Chase.
Yeah, sorry. It's just like, why are they Why are they redoing? Why are they redoing it? Why don't they do a new one?
Yeah,
it's not redoing. It's just a table read for charity.
Oh, right on. Well, yeah, especially that. I mean, how lazy are you going to be with charity? I mean, not for nothing.
They're not going to make a new episode like Parks and Rec made a new episode, right? And it was good.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, Parks and Rec can do it. Community had great writers. They got a good cast.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they've just decided to be lazy for charity then, because they're doing a table read, and that is it.
Maybe it's charity for narcolepsy.
Ooh, there we go.
They would notice if it was new or not.
But actually, the Mandalorian Pedro Pascal, he is filling in for Walton Goggins' character. Walton Goggins cannot be there to lazily reread his character, so so that'll be happening. But yeah, that's next Monday. So even more virtual reunion goodness or badness or laziness, however Chaz sees it, whatever. Tune in or don't. But it's good to see the cast back, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it when it airs on YouTube like 4 days later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably not gonna.
And if you don't want to wait, they're actually on Jim Rash his podcast that's already on there. Or actually, Ken Jeong, Jim Rash, and Joel McHale already have it up on YouTube, the post reading. So it's not even live. So I don't know. It was just something to talk about. But anyway.
Wait. Like, all right, we're gonna backtrack here like 5 seconds. So it's already up on people's pages. So it's not even actual table read for charity. It's not like they're actually all sitting down live and doing this. This is something they've already done, and now it's like, we're doing it for charity.
The table read is not up yet, but it's also not live. They already did it. Sorry. Yeah. The post interview that's on some of their personal podcasts. That's up. But yeah. Would it have made it more interesting to you if it was a live table read? Would you have sat there with popcorn waiting for them to mess up?
Yeah, I would watch it if it was live. That'd be cool.
Yeah, they redid in a live setting. They redid All in the Family and the Jeffersons, just one episode. Yeah, and that and it was an episode that had been aired before. But guess what? We haven't seen it. It was great, and I found it funny. Like, the biggest star on there was Jamie Foxx. He was George Jefferson, and he was the only man that messed up, and he was like the biggest, the A-lister, and he messed up a couple of times where it takes you out of it, and you're like, eh. But so yeah, man, I would totally watch that, like redo it in a thing like that. But I mean, if you just sit at a table and be like, huh, cool, Chevy, like that's awesome. I'm like, all right, dude, cool. Your sarcasm acting was awesome. Like in the soup, the first 2 seasons, but I don't want to see you do it like in real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's just
all
me.
Right. Idea pitch for you guys. So it's a 30 Rock reunion show, right? And so they redo one of their live episodes they did, but as if it's a completely scripted, but it's completely scripted in front of a camera setup like it would normally be, but they all think it's all live. It's going like that. I would watch that. I don't know. Trying to throw out ideas here. Now streaming on Mr. Peacock.
And just a reminder, we'll be doing a live script reading of today's episode next week for charity. So tune in for that. Perfect. On Nerd News Now.
You better write it up.
Yeah, you're writing it out, bud, not us.
Yeah.
Chaz,
did you care at all about the Avatar series?
No. What's going on?
Well, no, I said you care all about it. You very enthusiastically said no, but I just want to make sure.
My internet is like so jumpy tonight. I have no idea, but I'm excited about it. But I think I need to like go back and rewatch the first one to get excited about it. I was watching a science fiction like show documentary thing in which they were talking about the new element. Number 115, which is pentonium or something. And I thought they were going to say unobtainium for a second. And I was like, whoa,
well, the budget is going to be $1 billion, which is a lot, right? But then I found out that they're actually making Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5. And just hearing about the fact that 4 more on the way made me completely lose interest in 2. Because that's just too much at once.
Well, not even that. I mean, is it too far gone after the first one to make sense? I mean, yeah, it was a big movie, and like people were like, Avatar, it made all this money, but number one, I don't remember too much from that movie. I just remember seeing it in theaters and going, wow, this is cool for at the time. It's not like Ghostbusters where you're like, that's just cult. That's a cult classic, and it's everybody loves it. It's Avatar. Everybody went to see it because I think it did some great, and it could have had this cool story, but I'm not interested in 2, not even 3 or 4 or 5. That's just me, though.
Yeah.
I the comics aren't even selling, so you think you're gonna sell another movie?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think like part of I know we've talked about this before on the show, but like I think a part of it was honestly just the hype on the technology and like what they created to be able to do this. You're like, oh, I gotta see this movie to go see. They talk about this and they blah blah blah. It's like It's been how many years since the first movie? Do we know?
I think it was 2009. I believe it was like 2009.
Yeah, I think 11 years to do a sequel is just like at least 11 years to do a sequel. That's not
December of 2009.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, then we got Marvel, and it's like, I mean, who cares about blue kitty cats? We got a flying dude and an armor.
I want to see a better description for them now. Actually, I think that's the most accurate thing I've heard to describe the Na'vi, and I love it.
That's also, what?
Yeah, and I'm more impressed with myself for remembering the name of this species. Wow, maybe I did take something home from this movie.
Blue kitty cats meets being John Malkovich. Now that's a movie I could see.
You guys talk about kitty cats. I think about Lock and Key, the Spencer and Locke characters. Or that's not Lock.
I would rather see that.
Yeah, that book is so awesome. By the way,
God, I wish I could get more people to read that thing. It's so good.
Yeah, it really is. It really is a good book. Speaking about good books, Reading Rainbow's coming back. Sam, we see that. Is that awesome? LeVar Burton's coming back with Reading Rainbow.
Good for him.
It's been back, so is it just like continuing what he was doing, I guess?
I guess. I don't know. It's LeVar Burton reading books is what I've heard is what he's doing also like for like a podcast. So like I'm sold. I mean, I'm gonna Yeah.
But back to Avatar. I don't really care.
Oh, we're back to this. Oh, yeah, that's a great segue, Mark.
No. We all hate it. Let's keep talking about it.
Part 2 is still scheduled for December 2021, and then if you want to see parts 3, 4, and 5, I don't know what to say.
See parts 3, 4, and 5. Tell your great grandchildren to watch those movies. Let's be real, you won't.
Yeah. Another movie that you've been waiting forever for that you probably aren't going to watch.
Arsenal Part 4?
No. So the Russo Brothers, whenever you hear the Russo Brothers, like, oh, cool, awesome cinematic Marvel stuff. And then you hear Hercules, and you're like, whoa, awesome. They're going to bring Hercules in for the next Avengers movie. No, they're talking about making a live-action Hercules out of the Disney movie. It was made an animated Disney movie out of like the 18 million live-action Hercules movies there have been since 1909. So,
I'm going to play Megara.
What? Which one?
Megara.
Okay.
I can see it.
I love her.
Yeah. But does anyone have interest in a live action retelling of the Disney version of the animated Hercules into a live action Disney movie?
I'd watch it.
Yeah. I didn't see the Disney movie only because I've seen Hercules before. So it's like, cool, man. It's kind of like one of those movies, not saying it's good or bad or the stories. It's just like, it's around. So if I want to see it, I've got so many options. It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's I don't care. I mean, I don't care either way. I'm not going to the theater to see it. If it's on Disney Plus and I'm out of options, maybe. I did that with the Jungle Book, and I wish I didn't, because it wasn't that good of a movie, without, Baloo. So. But
Bill Murray was Baloo in that, right?
I'm sorry, it was Mowgli.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, Mowgli was so bad, I didn't see Jungle Book live action with Bill Murray. And it was funny, too, because as I'm watching it, I Google on my phone, I'm like, isn't Bill Murray supposed to be in this movie? And it's like, it's the Jungle Book, nerd. And I'm like, I'm watching the Mowgli story. Never mind. My bad.
You were watching the wrong live action Jungle Book. Okay. Yeah, there's multiple.
Yeah.
So I'd be more interested in the Hercules film if Bobcat Goldthwait and Matt Frewer came back as Pain and Panic, and then I'm sold. Even more so, they have me in seats if they announce Danny DeVito rephrasing Phil, and I would totally still do it anyway. If that ever happens, I'm sold already. I'll buy my tickets now.
Well, Danny DeVito's already been in one live action remake with Dumbo, so it's possible. Why not?
It was. And they brought back, I did see that, and I thought it was like, whatever. It didn't trigger anything from when I was a kid watching Dumbo, but when they brought in Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito together, like, I'm sorry, man, like, the little kid that lives inside me kind of got choked up and was like, it's Batman and the Penguin.
Yeah.
I mean, if Michelle Pfeiffer could have just been like a tumbler and just tumbled her way through that scene, then done. You would have had all my monies.
Yeah.
Even if it was free on Disney Plus.
And then just to wrap up movies, there's a rumor going around that Amazon might just buy up AMC, because AMC is probably the biggest chain struggling with all this right now. And they're not going to open up till any new movies come out, and all the new movies have been pushed back till November or December. And they don't really have any kind of other streaming service or anything to sustain them at all in any way. So I guess the question is, what is your movie theater chain of choice? Like, will you miss AMC if anything happens to that?
Probably not.
Here's mine. Seriously, it's high dollar. If I'm going to go to the movie theater, I will pay high dollar, because not for nothing, when I go to a movie theater, I don't want to hear what's going on in your day. I want to be in the movie. I don't want a whole bunch of people talking. I don't want you bringing in a buffet full of crap and there's two seats next to me just scarfing down like a whole rotisserie chicken and mashed potatoes and gravy. No, like, that's none of what I want. So
that sounds like a very specific experience.
Like, I'll go to, like, an expensive movie theater and everything's fine. I'm in the movie, I experience the movie, and nobody interrupts. But then if you go to a cheap movie theater, you've got people who pay the cheap movie prices who don't care, because it's like, it's $7, who cares? And they're talking the entire time, or their phone goes off. Because I am one of those people. If you disturb my movie experience, you got two After 2, I am in your face asking you for my money, and that's just how it is.
Whoa.
I never get my money, but I do usually get free tickets back to the theater that I don't want to go back to from the management. But that's just me. It's like, dude, talk after the movie. You don't need talking. Get off the phone. That's just me. So high dollar stuff, cushy seats.
Gushy sheet. Bad in the movie.
There we go.
I guess it makes sense.
It's over by the Chewies. That one's got the IMAX.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sad if I don't have the IMAX anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would really like a 4D theater here. You guys been to a 4D theater?
Mm-mm.
Just like they have like the Muppet movie and stuff.
What's that?
Yeah.
At Disney, they have the Muppets 4D movie, so they have like bubbles and mist and smells and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Has anyone ever had a good experience with a 4D movie?
yeah, I mean they're awesome.
Yeah, The Muppet.
No.
Is more like an attraction though. So
Well, so they have them like in certain states. We were on tour and we actually got free tickets to go to one. We were like off on a day, and we went to see. It was Infinity War or Civil War. I can't remember. It was one of the two. But all my days clashed together. I just remember the experience. Just like if a car came by, like you kind of smelt the exhaust, or food that was on the screen, you smelt it, or if there's like a chase, like your seat's going all over the place. If it's cold on screen, I think it was Civil War, because when they go at the very end, it was cold and the whole thing just chilled up, and there's like snow coming out of the vents or whatever. Dude, it was awesome. It was cool. Yeah. So I wouldn't want to work there to clean the place up, but it was fun.
I don't know. All my experiences have been like, cheapo, like 4D movie theaters, and usually they're attached to like a theme park or something. So there's like, oh hey, by the way, we also got this, and it's like, ugh. I never had a good experience with it. I was just curious more than anything. I don't know.
And I don't really have a good segue, but I was just going to say that AMC stands for always making chatter. So that's why Chaz always has a bad time there.
There you go.
Yeah. And you know what? I think you do this on purpose, because every time we talk about movie theaters, I just talk about the same old thing. And I think Mark's like,
No. I agree. I agree with you on. I don't want to go. I would rather go to an independent place like Alamo Drafthouse. I mean, I know they're like a chain, but they're
those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would rather go somewhere like that and experience it with fans who know when to cheer and when to be quiet than be disrupted, like you said.
Does your cup just magically fill on its own like Thor's mug? Because every time I see it in your hand, it's full.
It is. It's like, oh, I'm consistent. You've been chastised.
Ooh. Ooh.
Jarek, I'm going to turn it to your direction as we move to television, because one thing you had messaged about, you want to talk about, was some Mandalorian casting. But then a second thing that you didn't ask me to talk about was some Nick Cage less National Treasure series that's coming to Disney Plus. So
unacceptable.
So thoughts on both of those? But starting with the Mandalorian, so they cast Tamora Morrison, who played Jango Fett in the 2002 Attack of the Clones. What do you think of A, that casting, and B, just the news in general, meaning we're going to see some form of Boba Fett in The Mandalorian?
Jarek, before you answer, Mark, will you please say the actor's name one more time?
Oh, wait, was this some sort of wager between you guys?
No, it was just something that happened earlier. I just wanted to say, hey, it wasn't a wager.
Okay, Tamora Morrison.
You're way off, dude. But still.
What is it?
Not you. I'm talking to Jarek.
Okay, well, you say it however you want, because it's red. But also, but see, it would make sense, because for decades people have been saying it's not Boba Fett, it's Boba Fett. So it only makes sense that the actor would be described anyway.
Yeah, it was something, but yeah. And it wasn't something between us. It was just something he was struggling with earlier. So
okay.
kind of.
I just took a flyer on it, but you say it however you want. But what do you think about the casting of Boba Fett?
I think Boba Fett as now Jango Fett is awesome. I don't know. I mean, he is. I don't think he gets enough credit as an actor for. Just, I mean, it's difficult to do a whole bunch of. It's gonna be interesting, right? It's hard to explain it around. I just think if they're gonna bring Boba Fett back, they got to bring him back correctly, and I think having him be, Boba is going to be the best way to do it. He's, recognizable, it makes sense now with the canon, and then it's going to make it cooler when you see another clone hopefully come back, Captain Rex, who's allegedly supposed to also be in season 2 of The Mandalorian, and it's leaning more and more that way with Ahsoka being in it. So I think it's really cool. When I first saw that news, I know Boba's not going to be in too much, or at least they're writing it off, but he's not going to be done too much. But it's still just a cool tidbit for fans who like the series in general. So I'm excited.
And then Miss Jen, what do you think about Boba Fett on Mandalorian? Boba, what?
Well, I haven't watched Mandalorian, but
What?
No, I'm sorry. I'm horrible. It's not because I don't want to. I just don't have Disney Plus. But
I'll give you my password.
I was always disappointed that my theory about Boba Fett wasn't true, because for the longest time before they actually revealed who he was, I thought it was really going to be a girl, because there was only one explanation in my mind for why Boba Fett was so focused on getting Han Solo.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Stilted lover is what I thought it would be. Jilted lover.
That'd be kind of cool.
It's actually really good. Yeah, dude, why aren't you writing for Star Wars and Disney right now? It's actually pretty good. I want to see that. Like, how Marvel's got the What If comics? That's a great What If story. That'd be awesome. I'd read it.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
If only Marvel and Star Wars were owned by the same people, huh? If only. Chaz, what do you think about Boba Fett on the small screen?
It's cool.
Yeah.
I think give me the Boba Fett holiday special. Give me that Boba Fett.
There you go.
No, I mean, watching season 1, I mean, they've hinted throughout, especially the Gunslinger episode. Yeah. But throughout season 1, they have hinted about Boba. So when they released the news, I mean, I wasn't surprised. I'm excited because Boba's just awesome. He's really cool. And as far as casting, I mean, why not? Because, like Jarek said, you're going to have Rex in it, so there you go. You don't have to pay two different people. Yeah. And then, essentially he's playing his son anyway, so whatever. So they would have the same mannerisms and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. And then, Jarek, back to you. National Treasure. Do you care anything about that film series? Because number 3 is coming out with Nick Cage, but then they're also making a TV series on Disney Plus without Nick Cage. So, any thoughts on that?
I'll be excited for number 3 just because it's National Treasure. It's an American classic. It deserves its state as a classic in the theaters, in the box office, in hearts and minds of the American people. And so it will for sure be amazing. Now, in terms of the series that won't have our Lord and Savior Nick Cage in there, that's Heresy, Mark, and Burned in Hell.
I thought they already had a series, but it was called The Librarians. Oh well. Does anyone else have as strong feelings about a National Treasure series without Nick Cage as Jarek does? I personally don't care one way or another.
I don't care.
I'm sad. I like Nick Cage. It needs a Nick Cage. Or that one really funny guy who's his sidekick. I like him.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Bruckheimer says the show will be a whole new cast. So whether that's like a sequel, prequel, who knows? But yeah, nothing. And then no confirmed date on that because everything's knocked back now. But no real timeline for the series.
No,
would it be about his dad? That would be awesome.
That would be really cool.
No. Maybe they'll tie it all in together somehow.
Yeah. What if, and this is just a theory, mind you, every season of this show revolves around having to steal the Declaration of Independence again because it's actually yet another clue to another treasure which wasn't originally put in for the first treasure.
I like it.
I'm sold.
Okay. Let's do it.
I have to give a nod, though, real quick to Mr. Mark. So, we do trivia every Wednesday nights at 7:30 on my Twitch channel, the R&R Nerd. Mark played with us last week, and his team name was actually really, really funny. It was, you can tell him what it was, Mark. It was great.
Oh, it was just can't Nick cage a Tiger King. So can't cage a Tiger King, but with Nick in parentheses.
That's good. That's good.
Brilliant. And there's people who play every week, and they have really funny, clever names or whatever, and then Mark comes up with that one. And Mark doesn't tell me he's playing, so I don't know it's him. So, I'm a scorekeeper. But, he was right up with my second favorite that week was Quarantina Turner.
That's good.
That's a good one.
So, yeah, it was really good. So I have to give a nod to Mark. He's pretty clever. He's played a couple of times, and he's come up with some pretty clever names.
Yeah, I'll have to come up with something for Wednesday. And then
this week?
What now?
You're playing this week, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, good. Because I've got some people coming in watching me play this week to host it or whatever. Could be. We're gonna go on and do bigger, better things with it. But I do have people watching, so I need a whole bunch of teams.
Yeah.
So I know Jarek's been saying, for weeks he's gonna be playing. Come on in. Come on in and play. This is
I'm the worst.
No, I didn't say anything bad about it.
Moving on to comics to wrap up the show here. So we have some more new DC releases, which has been a theme for 3 weeks now. Anything catching your guys' eye, or just, obviously still happy to have new comics, right? But anything you're looking forward to this week from DC Comics?
There's a cool Harley that's out. I like the B cover because it's an Easter cover, which is way too late. But it's cute.
Yeah, that was my favorite one as well.
Yeah, so that's Harley Quinn 72. They also have Justice League 44, and then I think only a total of 5 books. So just Justice League Odyssey, Metal Man, and Lois Lane. And Lois Lane was my favorite new comic for the first few issues that was out. So I got to catch up. But
that was pretty cool. Yeah, Harley for sure. Justice League is doing really well, at least on our side. We've got a lot of subs and stuff for it. I love Harley. Watch it on DCU. But here's my thing, Jen. So Batman is coming. The Batman: The Adventure Continues is coming out. It's based off the animated series, hence the Adventure Continues. I saw online where there's it's a William Lau, L-O-W, L-O-U-W, and he's got 2 different variants. And they're both based off of Harley Quinn's first appearance. Now, I couldn't find it in Diamond. Are you guys getting that one?
And it's not Stanley Lau.
No, his name, I think it's William Lau. Let me look just really quick. Hold on.
Because if it's Stanley Lau, he probably has it as an exclusive on his own page. That's Art Germ.
News comic. Well, maybe it is that guy. Maybe I'm gay. Maybe it is that dude.
Him.
L-U-W. Oh, I can't find it. Oh, yeah, no, it's Warren. Warren Lou? L-O-U-W. He's got 2 different covers for it. Now, I asked Bill. I was like, yo, before the FOC closes, I need these. And plus, they have a Harley variant coming out by Peach Mobico. We can't get that one either. But they've got all these cool variants that I want. And I didn't know if that was a hiccup because of Diamond or because they're only offering us 4 books or 3 covers. Same thing with Venom 25.
Store exclusives, right? Store exclusives or...
I guess maybe they are. I just saw them pop up on Google. And even Venom was hey, we have 25 different variants, but we're only allowed to purchase 4 or 5, including the blank cover. but they have 25 variants. So maybe I don't know. I don't know if that was a hiccup, but I have a feeling I'm gonna be paying a lot of money for these stupid covers.
Well, some of the 25, some of the ones for Venom 25
Mhm.
they weren't on FOC, but if you went and looked for them, they still existed, but I guess they must have sold out of the print run or something.
Oh, right on. Yeah, it's so weird.
Because there were like 3 of them that weren't on FOC, or you couldn't order anymore.
Because they had the scan version of Venom was the homage to Amazing Spider-Man 300.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just gonna go through the roof. But it's a cool cover, and usually anything that has that tip of the hat to it, I try to grab. So, and that's another book probably be paying out the butt for. So, get your books now, kiddies.
This segment of Collecting Comics is super, super, super complicated. Has been brought to you by Space Cadets Collection and The Adventure Begins Comics and Games.
Yeah.
Moving on.
We're ending. I was like, we have 5 minutes left.
Yeah, we're good.
And we can go for as long as we want.
No, that was another just hard turn to the next thing on the timeline, man. That's all that was. Other news, Dune, Boom Studios is going to release a 12-part Dune prequel. Anyone excited about that? And have you read the book that it's based on? It's actually the 1999 novel House Atreides. So.
Oh, yes!
Yeah. Whoa, you've read it. Okay. So that's going to be a 12-issue series.
That reaction right there. That reaction means you have to pick it up and you have to read it.
And as of now, it's still going to be, coinciding with the release of the movie. So the first issue should be out a few months before, and then it's going to be 12 issues. I don't know how often it's going to come out, but that is by the authors of the book, which are Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. No artist announced yet, but apparently Miss Jen's very excited about this.
Well, it happens on Caladan, his home planet.
And then I guess that kind of sets it up because there's been novels. After 99, there was books on the other houses. I'm just saying houses because of Game of Thrones terminology. Haven't been into Dune much. But, so it's going to be about the rise of the House Atreides. So we'll see. But that's coming from Boom Studios. So I don't know if that's been on any order forms or not yet. But it's probably a few months away.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be weird. It's a true departure from everything that we've seen in the Dune universe, because Dune universe is usually desert, but Caladan is water.
Yep.
It's like Spy versus Spy.
Yeah. Now, so I guess more Diamond Distribution comes back May 20th, as we said. Yep. Have any other books other than these DC books we've been talking about? What is going to be there to look forward to, say, like in June, a few weeks from now?
War Joker.
Yeah.
Gosh,
That's a big one.
Any not so DC is obviously like still rolling. Is Marvel going to be backlogged, or does anyone know how that's going to work?
Well, they actually announced that they were going to take some of their titles, like I think they announced Hawkeye, Freefall, and some other small. I don't call that a small title because that's Rosenberg and it was amazing. But some of the other small titles, they're actually going to roll those out. They're not going to print them ever. They're going straight to digital. And so they're just skipping them, essentially. Which makes me really sad and make me feel just the way Chaz looked like he was doing. Yes.
That's a great book. And that's, with so many titles, you have very few books that come in, at least on our who come in, for that, I guess, BC character title. That was something that people look forward to coming in and reading and say, this is really, really good. The artwork's great. The story's awesome. And yeah, I'm kind of surprised that that's one of the books that is going to go straight to digital.
Hey, guys, you know what we should do? Let's get together, talk to Marvel, and say, how about our two stores having a print run of just those books?
Yeah!
Yes. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, you might as well. I think that, Marvel needs to do stuff like that to support local shops coming out of all this. I think that would be a fantastic idea to do really limited print runs and exclusive covers and things you could only get by walking into your local store.
Yeah.
And if you did that, and you don't do it to where you only offer that option to one or two stores, you offer it to every store, but each store has their own thing in very limited supply that hopefully they will sell in their store and not online. And then I think that'd be a good incentive.
You know, it was funny. Well, that reminds me, the owners for Phase 1 came in, and we got to know them. We were pretty chummy with those guys. They were like, you know what we should do? Us, you guys, Space Cadets, all get together and do like a big, just an exclusive cover just for us, and blah, blah, blah. And he was so adamant about it. I was like, man, that's a great idea. That'd be really cool for one of these big like parties or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they went under. But doesn't mean we can't do it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool. But yeah, man, I'm kind of sad about, comics going digital. I mean, it means the fat cats are winning.
Yeah.
I think it's their one solution and not overloading all of the stores with a bunch of dollars for the product that we can't really afford.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I could see that. But I mean, I'm not a digital reader. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty, but even with the DC app and Marvel Unlimited, it's just, I mean, I may read like a book and be like, oh, this is pretty cool. But I just, number one, I get frustrated with the controls because half the time it just, it'll blow it up too big and then you can't maneuver around it. But I'm just not big digital. I like it in my hands. I like to read it. It's kind of like my Zen time where it's just me. So
yeah, I agree.
Plus, you can't sell a digital comic book at auction. So
No, you cannot.
Well, any last thoughts on the state of things from either of you three as we wrap this up?
I'm looking forward to the comics in June coming back because there's a lot of cool independent stuff that's been slated for a while that I've been looking forward to and I want to read. So
yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like I said, my life really hasn't changed much. So, I'm just looking to live another day. You know what I mean? With all my friends, just hang out, and yeah, whatever. No,
yeah,
just being cool, Erica.
I don't know. I'm alive and I'm living another day. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on trucking. Let's do this. 2020. Let's get it over with.
Convoy.
On the road again.
And then someday we'll be able to do this not in all 4 separate rooms on phones with a lot of digital dropouts. So looking forward to that. But
not for nothing. I don't mind not driving to the Woodlands and doing this. So.
Well,
I mean, I miss you guys, but whatever. Justin, can they be live and me not? Can we make that up?
For Miss Jen, Jarek, and Chaz, this has been Mark for Nerd News Now. Catch us on Roku, on woodlandsonline.com, and Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Check out Kingdom of Geekdom and all of our other shows on there. Check out The Adventure Begins weekly show. And thanks again to our sponsors, Space Cadets Collection, and Adventure Begins Comics and Games. We'll see you next time on Nerd News Now.
Trade you later.
See you, nerds.